You thought your opponent was the job, the relationship, the criticisms, the setbacks, the people who used you. What if none of them were the real fight? What if the biggest thing standing between you and the life that you want is the version of you that learned how to survive? Today we're talking about where you've been hiding and why freedom feels uncomfortable when there's nowhere left to hide. By the end of this conversation, you're going to know exactly what role you've been hiding behind and why the silence feels louder than the struggle ever did. Then one day, you finally got free. That's when you met your next opponent, you. Because the role didn't just give you purpose. The role gave you somewhere to hide. I'm Shatika Miles, also known as Miss T, and this is Who's CTV. Before we get into this conversation, let me say this clearly. I'm not here to preach to you. Facts. I'm not standing on some mountaintop acting like Shatika has it all figured out either. I'm building from the messy middle. I'm unlearning. I'm growing. I'm making mistakes. I'm asking hard questions. And I'm taking you with me. So if you feel led and you haven't done so, subscribe because we're just getting started. If you received a refill here, if you started a business, made a pivot, left something behind, chose yourself, set a boundary, or finally started building the life you've been talking about, drop it and let us know in the comment. Because someone else is reading your story and they might need that reminder that change is possible. And if you're looking for more resources, conversations, or ways to keep moving forward, visit ShatikaMiles.com. Now let's get into today's tea. This is the Loyalty Tax series. In season 1, we named the tax. We looked at what it costs to be the reliable one. We learned that rest stops the leak. Restoration refills the tank. In season 2, it starts here. See, right after the refill. Right where the silence gets super loud. Let's talk about the hiding place. The strong one, the provider, the fixer, the caregiver, the reliable one. All real examples. Pick the one that's you right now. Is it A, the fixer? Somebody still talking and you've already got 3 solutions in your head? B, the reliable one? You showed up sick, running on 4 hours of sleep, because who else is going to do it? C, the strong one? You said I'm fine with a straight face while your chest was doing something else entirely. D, the provider? You quietly paid for it, covered it, handled it, and never brought it up again. E, the caregiver? You checked on everybody in your family group chat and nobody checked on you. Hold your letter. We'll circle back. Let me ask you something first. What role do people introduce you as? What role do you introduce yourself as? What happens if that role disappears tomorrow? You weren't hiding behind weakness. You were hiding behind competence. You thought freedom would answer the question of why success feels empty. But freedom revealed the question. Job gone, kids grown, business built, boundaries set, relationship ended. But now what? Nobody talks about Tuesday. Nobody talks about the coffee getting cold while you're aimlessly staring out a window. Nobody talks about sitting in a quiet house wondering why peace feels uncomfortable. Nobody talks about finally getting what you wanted and realizing you don't know what comes next. They talk about the promotions, the divorce, the boundaries, the fresh starts. Nobody talks about the random Tuesday morning you wake up and then the thing you've been chasing finally has happened and you still don't know who you are. What problem are you solving today that no longer exists? The struggle, it was never your identity. The struggle was your distraction. It's time for you to meet your opponent. See, your opponent is not your future. Your opponent is a version of you protecting your past. The old you isn't going down without a fight. The version of you that survived by being needed. That version, it has receipts. That version kept people happy. That version kept relationships together. That version got promotions. That version got praise. That version got validation. So now you can't be surprised when it keeps trying to come back. That's your opponent. Not because it's evil, because it's familiar. And familiar always fights for survival. Listen for the voice. Stay busy, stay useful, stay needed, stay small, stay familiar. What version of you keeps showing up even though its season is long over? The old you isn't trying to destroy your future. The old you is trying to protect you with outdated instructions. Survival taught you how to stay alive. It was never supposed to teach you how to live. Clock that. The cost of staying hidden. Every hiding place charges rent. Lost dreams, delayed decisions, relationships, confidence, joy, peace. Because being busy is easier than being honest. It's true. What is your hiding place costing you right now? You thought you were paying with time? You've been paying with yourself. Now there's nowhere left to hide. This is the turning point. The room is quiet. The phone is silent. Nobody needs anything. There's no emergencies, no distractions. There's just you. And as long as somebody needed something, you never had to ask what you needed. As long as somebody had a problem, you never had to face your own. As long as somebody else needed saving, you never had to sit with yourself long enough to discover who you were. What do you want when nobody else is talking? The moment you've been avoiding is the moment your life begins. What to do next? Step 1, name the role. Step 2, thank the role. It kept you alive through something. Step 3, retire the role as your identity. Step 4, choose one thing that's yours. Not productive, not useful, yours. Who are you becoming now? Awareness told you something's missing. It won't build the rest for you. The 30-minute reset session was built for this exact moment. When you know the role isn't you, but you haven't met who's underneath it yet, the link's in the description below. Your next opponent isn't another person. It isn't just your past. It isn't your critics. It's not your circumstances. Your next opponent is the version of you that learned how to hide behind your usefulness. But the beautiful part, the moment you see the opponent, the fight changes. You're not fighting for survival. You're fighting for ownership. Ownership of your voice. Ownership of your choices. Ownership of your life. And that's a fight worth having. What role have you been hiding behind? The strong one, A. B, the fixer. C, the provider. D, the caregiver. E, the reliable one? Or tell me your own. Because the first step out of hiding is naming the place you've been hiding. You came for the story, but you stayed for the shift. Because the real tea isn't what happened to you. The real tea is what happened when there's nowhere left to hide. Once the role is gone, you're left standing face to face with yourself. So the next question is simple. Can you trust that person? You don't have to answer that today. It's cool. Most people never ask the question. I'm Shatika Miles, also known as Miss T, and this is Who's CTV. I'm the gas station. I fill you up so you can move, but you still gotta drive. Continue to sip the truth, people. I want you to live on purpose, and I'll see you in the next one.